It's not quite election season just yet, unless you live in the town of Manlius, where there'll be a special election on Saturday. The only item on the ballot to consider the creation of a ward system of government with the town board. Joining us now to talk about this special election, Town Supervisor John Deere. John, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the help in informing the public.
So how did this even get on the ballot in the first place?
So what ended up happening was a group of the Manlius GOP party, overwhelmingly them, they passed a petition, got about 875 signatures, and under Article 6 of town law, they submitted that petition to us on July 14th. That then starts a clock. 60 to 75 days is when we have to hold the election based on that petition. And so really that's what it comes down to is, we had somebody submit these petitions on July 14th, and that's why this is a special election. Why not have it on the ballot for the general election in November? I mean, it's not that far off. So you would have to ask the person who submitted that petition. There was in Article 6, if it's submitted within a certain time frame out from the general election, they is able to end up on the November ballot. But the person who filed these petitions decided that it was more important to have the election sometime in September rather than waiting till November when we had higher turnout. I'm sure you've maybe done a little bit more than me, but I've been doing my research too, as I often do for these things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the town's comprehensive plan, it does include studying a ward system of government at some point in the future, right? Yeah, absolutely. Our goal, we had heard some folks through the comprehensive planning process talk about representation. We had a large part of that comprehensive plan that considered operations. And so the, amazing foresight of our co-counselor, our co-chairs of the steering committee, they put it in the plan so that we had a real goal to study the viability of it and take some time, inform the public, get those questions answered, maybe look at some possible maps, some other towns, just like we would do with anything. We would bring the public along with us, but because of the timing of this, it was really cut short. What kind of change would a ward system make in Manlius town government? Right now, you elect part of the board. Everybody gets to vote. They serve at large, all of the town board members. What would a ward system do? So what it would do, the Board of Elections would draw a map of the town of Manlius and divide it by election districts into 6 different wards. And I believe it's either by voter registration or by population that they have to be roughly equal in size, I think within 5% of each other. Mm-hmm. And basically what that would mean is right now, if you're a town resident, whether you live in Fremont, Kirkville, Manlius, Fayetteville, or Manoa, you go to the polls every 2 years and you vote for 3 councilors that serve town-wide. They are elected for a 4-year term, and it's staggered so that there's some consistency between the boards from year to year. In this system, as soon as it's implemented, the terms of every councilor currently elected is shortened to end in 25. And then in 2025 on the ballot, each resident would, instead of seeing 3 options, they would see essentially 1 option. They get to choose 1 person to represent them on the town board. Oh, so instead of voting for half the board, you get to vote for just 1/5 of the board. Yeah, and you got to remember too, because they're staggered. If you vote here for 3 years in every election, you're going to get to vote for every member of the town board, and you're going to get to vote for town supervisor twice. So in this system, over 3 years, you would vote for the town supervisor twice and your ward councilor twice. Most importantly, I guess, however you come out on this, well, let me ask you this one, since I think we have a little bit more time to sneak this one in. How common is a ward system for a town the size of Manlius? I know that some others like Salina have this system, but a town the size of Manlius, how common is it in New York State? What we've seen, I think there's about 100 and some odd first-class towns where you can do this. And only about 15 of them do it. And I think one of the major drawbacks is because there's no at-large system like you would see in the city of Syracuse, where every resident of the city of Syracuse votes for a ward councilor in addition to the 4 at-large seats, which means their issues have a majority that have to earn their vote so they can get that heard. I think in a town, because we are not allowed to have at-large councilors, it just is not very appealing to folks. Quick 10 seconds, most important. When and where can people cast their votes for this special election? Manlius Town Hall, 301 Brookley Drive from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday the 23rd. And until Friday at 4:30 p.m., you can stop by Town Hall and ask for an absentee ballot if you have a good reason for not being able to vote on Saturday. And we want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to vote. So if you don't think you're going to be available on Saturday, please stop by Manlius Town Hall, 301 Brookley Drive by 4:30 on Friday. Manlius Town Supervisor John Deere. John, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.